Hey everyone, this is Anna, and thanks so much for visiting my channel. It is June 3rd, 2021, and I'm just doing a quick video to document the progress of the garden this year. This is probably one of my favorite beds. That in the background there are peas, and there are some early broccoli plants there in the middle, and up front in that bed are two different kinds of kale. There's a scarlet kale and a blue curly kale. There's also some sage, some sunflowers, and some pansies in this bed. These are my black Krim tomato plants, and I'm excited to have so many of them this year. It's my favorite. There's also a row of bush beans, some calendula in the back, some cauliflower up front, and some various flowers. Of course, I had to get in a shot of our favorite lettuce. This is speckled trout, and it's really delicious. The speckled trout is growing next to some golden cabbage plants and some red romaine lettuce, also next to our garlic there on the left. There's also some dill, and this bed has lots of room for our summer squashes. Here are our pepper plants. There's also some Casper kale up front, which is really little, and there are pole beans on the back trellis at the back. Here's another look at those wonderful snap peas. This is our red cabbage, and then broccoli and cauliflower. And this bed is several different kinds of kale. There's a scarlet kale, blue curly kale, and a ragged jack kale, also with some volunteer sunflowers, a cauliflower, and lots of tomatoes. Here are some cucumbers that are going to be growing up the trellis. There's some special zinnias that I started from seed, and some melons and summer squash that are planted in the front. And here is some carrots, but check out that little sunflower doing its best to survive between those two garden boards. This is chamomile. These flowers are ready to pick and dry and save for tea. I usually drink chamomile tea in the winter, so it's nice to have my own grown flowers to enjoy. This bed is, again, lots of kale. We love eating kale. We have lots of kale salads and tomatoes. And here are the peas in a different bed. They just started putting on flowers this week with the heat that we've had. And there's also some onions that you can see. There's a row of baby spinach or baby lettuce coming up in the front of this bed with lots of tomatoes and some volunteer sunflowers. This bed has celery, some lettuce and radishes, also some really large onions that I overwintered. You can see the peas there on the right side, and there are beautiful flowers that have opened this week. And you can get a peek of the tomatoes there along the trellis and the onions on this far side of the bed. Our Rainier cherry tree is putting on cherries for us this year for the first time, and we're really excited. There won't be very many, but we'll get some, and that's exciting for us. And the blueberries this year are loaded with fruit. This particular plant has such large berries, it's amazing. And then we have several plants of this variety that have smaller berries, but there are just so many berries. The bees really went crazy pollinating all these little blueberry flowers this year. So we're really excited. These are just going to be delicious. Look at all of these berries. We're so excited. We just put these berries in last year, and we got them from a blueberry farm that was going out of business. So they're established plants but had to be moved. This is another look at a pea flower, and we had some really hot weather this week, and I think that pushed the peas to decide to bloom. And we actually have a tomato that has set fruit. This is a gold nugget variety, and this particular variety puts on gobs and gobs of tomatoes. And then we have some sunflowers in a bed that's right by the front gate, and these are going to be large and gorgeous right when you walk into the garden. This was my cut flower patch last year. This year I decided to make it into a raspberry patch. But because the canes are so new this year, I decided to plant cut flowers there as well. So there's lots of cosmos and zinnias and sunflowers in these beds too. I also put in a new strawberry patch this year, and the plants are just starting to put on fruit. And our rhubarb patch is doing phenomenal. We have two different varieties, and both of them did amazingly well this year. The blackberry patch is looking great. There are so many flower buds on the blackberries. The raspberries that are planted in between all the blackberries have already opened their flowers, and the bees are busy trying to pollinate all of those little nodules. I think we're going to have gobs and gobs of berries this year. Busy, busy bees. Here's another look at those canes. They're looking really great this year, big and strong. The canes that are coming up for next year are also really nice looking, so we're pretty excited. The hops vine on the end of the chicken yard is looking amazing, and the ladies are out enjoying a little bit of shade this evening, gathering a last bite to eat and drink before they put themselves in the coop for the night. And inside the coop, some of the girls have already put themselves up. There's Helen Minetta in the doorway there. And some of the girls are enjoying that open window at the back of the coop. A little breeze coming through there. And here's one of my favorite little hens. This is Peggy Sue, and she always has something to say. Her breed is an Egyptian breed. Isn't she beautiful? And lastly, tonight we have Mr. Rivers. He was checking out the nest boxes in the mobile coop that he lives in with 3 silky hens and our mostly blind Easter egger chicken. And he actually lives in this mobile coop with those ladies, and he can get out that door there that's to the back left and get down to the grass where the food and water is. So he and these little chicken friends get along just fine. So thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed, and until we chat again, take care. Bye.